Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Patio Extravaganza. I have been working on my patio on and off for pretty much the whole summer. If you want to see those videos and you haven't seen them, go check out the progress that we've made so far. It's been a slow process, but I made this dining set and stuff. So if you want to see those, go check those out. But today we are starting off by tidying some things up. I decided that this planter should go on the edge of the balcony. I feel like it just makes more sense for space. So we put it parallel to the table. And then I moved around some pots. I'm still playing with things. I think I need like a plant stand to raise a couple of these pots. And I actually decided to get rid of one of these dumpy old pots. I just moved my dill into a planter that I knew I was going to want to keep and threw out the dumpy old one. I feel like I need to get rid of a few of the other ones. And maybe next year I would rather have another big planter box rather than all these little pots. I feel like things would also grow better in them. I also got on to cleaning the patio. Yes, I do use a Swiffer to clean my patio. I have a certain Swiffer pad that I wrote outside on the back of it in a Sharpie, and I just use that one for outside. It's the easiest way to clean my patio. I know I look insane, but I don't have a pressure washer and I don't have anywhere to hook up water out there anyways. So either I'm sprinkling it with my water can or I'm mopping the floor, okay? I'm mopping the patio floor. So I Swiffered my little Hardaway out there, and yesterday I went and picked up this beautiful little patio table. It was $10 on Facebook Marketplace from this girl, and it's this white metal table. I think it's supposed to be meant to look like it's made out of sticks, but the top is kind of like in this wavy metal pattern, which is very cool, and it has the cutest tiny little birds made out of metal on it as well. I love this table so much. As we know, I love birds, so I was so excited when I found this, and it truly fits perfectly in between my two old wooden chairs, and it's exactly the right armchair height. I thought that a table in between these two should be lower, but it actually makes more sense because if you're putting like a drink or something down, you need to reach over the armrest. And so I think it's actually supposed to be at armrest height. I'm not exactly sure, but it just looks so perfect to me. This table is a little bit rusty, so I do need to sand down the rusty spots. And I'm either going to repaint it white. Brendan said he likes it white. I do like it white, but I also think it would look good black if it was kind of like a wrought iron vibe. Or I was potentially, of course, thinking a color. And maybe I'm trying to stray away from a color to add a little neutral piece in here. But this side of the patio also is going to be a lot of wood and a lot of browns, and so I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world for it to be a pop of color over here. We can totally decide on this later. I think I'll decide after we've completed some more things on the patio, but I was contemplating either yellow, blue, red, or green. Of course, my favorite colors, but I think that yellow or blue would look the best if we decided to do a color. Yellow, blue, black, or white. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm open to all of them. Sorry, it's getting a little hot. I actually need to take my sweater off. It was storming today, and then now it's like sunny and beautiful outside. I also picked up this umbrella off of Facebook Marketplace. It's this green and white striped umbrella. I really love it. I love that the pole is wood as well. I wanted lots of wood out on the patio, especially to contrast with the gray floor and all the white posts and everything. So I'm glad that this post is wood. I think it really adds a little touch to it. It was $50 off of Facebook Marketplace if I didn't mention that. I discovered that the umbrella fit perfectly through one of the holes on the bird table. Most of the holes were too small, but it just happened to fit perfectly through this one that was a bit bigger, kind of near the middle. So I stuck it through that hole, and I'm going to get an umbrella base for it to sit in, but for now I just twist tied it to the table so that it would stay stuck there, but I don't think the table's heavy enough to hold it if it was really windy and it was up, so I definitely want to get an umbrella base for it. I was kind of worried that this green was going to contrast with the green of the planter and the green of the cushions that I had already made for these two wooden chairs, but I actually think that the greens are so different that it looks nice together. Also this week, I went and picked up the brown on brown striped fabric from Fabricland. It's got this light beige stripe and a darker brown stripe. It says that it's cotton, which isn't supposed to be a good outdoor fabric, but then when I was looking online, it said if it's more of a durable, thick, canvasy cotton, then it would be good, which this one is. It feels more like canvas rather than cotton to me. And it was only $6 a meter, which I don't know if I'm going crazy, but she wrote on the receipt the previous price and she wrote 42 and crossed it out. I swear she wrote 42 because there's no way she wrote 420 because that would be less than $6. She wrote $42 a meter down to $6 a meter. I think they had too much of this fabric, and that's why I also think it was an outdoor fabric, because they had a bunch of rolls and it's kind of nearing the end of summer and I think they were trying to get rid of it. I don't know, but I may have just saved $250. And I went to my parents' house this week as well because my mom has a sewing machine, and I sewed my little life away. I think it took me maybe 6 or 7 hours by the time I was done cutting the fabric and sewing all the cushions. Sewing it's a long process, especially when you're sewing big cushions like that. It's a lot of sewing, but they turned out beautifully. They all have zippers, so I can take them off and wash them if I want to. I'm obsessed with how this couch is looking. It's exactly the vision we were going for. I also added in this green and white striped cushion that I had in the van. I don't really know if I'm loving this one. Even though it's kind of like a gingham-y plaid pattern, it still has a lot of stripes. And I feel like we're just doing too many stripes. But I found this red cushion at the thrift store this week, which is almost like a outdoor fabric feeling anyways. It's still soft, but it kind of feels water repellent. And it's like a light red with a darker red stripe. I love this cushion so much. And it really goes nicely with the chairs to tie it in to the whole patio situation. And I also added a yellow corduroy pillow that I had in the van as well. I feel like I would like a floral pattern cushion out here. I think it would look really good to add a floral because we have so many stripes going on. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for a nice floral cushion that I like at the thrift store. Another plus of finishing the patio this morning meant that I got to eat my pancakes on the patio couch. I made these pancakes for Brendan and I last night. It was like an oat pancake recipe made with oat flour, which then you're basically just eating oatmeal in the form of pancakes. It's not bad for you or anything. You're just covering it in maple syrup and butter. What's the big deal? But I made these pancakes for us last night. I think it was Nora Cook's recipe. I'll put it in the description box if anybody wants to try the pancake recipe because they were so good. They were the best oat flour pancakes I've ever had. So I got to enjoy those outside this morning, and I actually discovered it was going to storm this afternoon. So after setting up the patio, I then had to take the whole thing down. The nice thing about this umbrella is that the top can twist off. I don't know if this is with all patio umbrellas. I've never really seen a patio umbrella before, but you can twist off the top so then you don't have to take the whole thing out of the hole that it's in. And I just put the umbrella on the couch and the cushions on the couch, and I got these covers. I got these waterproof covers for all the patio furniture finally, which is perfect because I don't want to be refinishing this patio furniture all the time and I don't want to destroy my cushions in the rain or something. So I put a container that you put under your bed, like one of these shallow bins. I rolled it underneath of the couch and that's where I'm going to store the covers for the patio furniture. And I covered up the couch and I covered up the table, and sure enough, it did storm this afternoon. So good thing I did. So the only thing that we have left to do on the patio, you guys, is a coffee table and maybe some lighting and the cushions for the dining chairs, which is so awesome. It's the end of August, so just in time for fall. Isn't that wonderful? For the coffee table, I'm thinking I want to do one that looks like it's floating that's made out of wood. I think it would be nice to have like a chunky one out there, especially because there's all these legs going on with the chairs and the table and the couch. I think it would be nice if it was just like one solid piece in the middle, and because then it's like a nice big piece of wood to break up some of this gray that's on the floor. So I'm possibly going to be building that for next week's video. Although I'm not really sure if I'm going to have a video next week because I am going on a houseboat this weekend. So I'm not feeling very optimistic about it. But we'll see if we can swing it. We might be able to build this coffee table and get the patio done by the end of August. Another thing I need to ask about is I think I want to get rid of this clear plastic cube. I put solar lights in it so it glows at night, which kind of looks cool, but then during the day it just kind of looks ugly. And like I said, I think I'd rather have a different type of plant stand for some of the planters to add some height rather than this like ugly plastic cube. So let me know what you think about that. And other than that, I really have nothing else to report. Yeah, I've just been packing for my houseboat. That's why there's all this stuff behind me actually. And I was gonna tidy it up, and then I said, you know what? No. This is real, this is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in my bedroom with my messy stack of stuff for my houseboat. There's no point in putting it away. I'm going on the houseboat, I need to pack. I already got those things out for a purpose. It's not like I'm cleaning up. The cleaning up would be me packing them up, and I'm not ready to pack them up yet. Anyway, whatever, you don't care. That's why there's a stack of clothes behind me though. But yeah, so I'm going on a houseboat this weekend. I'm really excited. It's my friend's bachelorette. It's like her bachelorette party. Her husband is going to have a boat of dudes, and then we're going to have a boat of girls, and we're going on a houseboat adventure. I've been on 2 houseboats before. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be the captain. I'm going to drive that boat. It's going to be awesome. And I actually was on a yoga retreat last weekend. These are my busy last few weekends of the summer. And then I'm not doing too much for the fall. But the yoga retreat was so much fun. It was basically like adults at a kids camp. We got to do a bunch of yoga classes, bunch of meditation and stuff. And we went on stand-up paddleboards on the lake. And we climbed a rock climbing wall and just had an absolute time giggling with the girls, having so much fun. We stayed in this little cabin. It was so awesome. And yeah, I'm just enjoying this last little bit of summer. And hopefully I'll be enjoying this last bit of summer on my patio soon enough, with it actually being 100% complete. All right, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video of these little patio updates, and I'll see you hopefully next Thursday. If not, the Thursday after that, I guess, we'll be wrapping up the patio.